we left Camp Carson, we were on a troop train, and it was a secret troop movement. We didn't know where we were going. We sat in these wooden seats on this steam-powered railroad, and all the shades were pulled. We had sergeants, armed sergeants at each end. So we didn't know where we were going. But eventually, as we went through the Rockies and headed wherever we were going, we'd stop at railroad stations, and they would get us off to go to a Harvey house to get a boxed lunch and go to the can. So this one time that we stopped, we got off, and I said, "Oh my God, we're at Needles, California." And I know where we're at and where we're going. And so I had a nickel in my pocket, put it in the telephone, pardon me, and called Dixie Station at Hinckley, California, outside of Barstow, the only phone in the community. And that was owned by the McCormicks. And I told the operator, ask Mrs. McCormick if she will receive the charges. And she did. I said, "Mrs. McCormick, this is Harvey. Could you tell my mother that I'll be at the Harvey house in Barstow for dinner at around 5 o'clock?" Because I knew where we were going and how long it took to get there. And so when we pulled into the Barstow station, everybody got off to go into the Harvey house to get their boxed lunch or at dinner time. And the sergeant was standing there, and there's a 34 Ford with my mom, my brothers, and Uncle John. And my mother's standing out and said, "Harvey, Harvey, Harvey." And the sergeant said, "What is this?" I said, "Oh my God, it's my mother." I said, "Can I go over see her?" He said, "I don't know what the hell is going on. You go over there and you get back here." So we did. She had a boxed lunch with chicken so I could share it with the other guys. And I was the only one, before going overseas, got to see their family. And so, again, we got on and we ended up at Fort Ord, which is a POE, Port of Embarkation. And we were told that we would be going to Camp White and get 10 days to go home. Well, that was another misinformation. We got on the train, we pulled into San Francisco, and it was in the evening, and we got off the train and directly up a ramp on a ship. So there we were on the ship, a Liberty ship that was manufactured, put together in 30 days in Long Beach, California. They really knew how to kick those ships out of there. So we were headed who knows where, but 30 days later, as we made S-turns all over so that the submarines wouldn't pick us up, etc., we ended up at Lae, L-E-A, New Guinea. And that's down in the southern part before you jump off to go to Australia. Then we went around and we hit a all-siren air raid, Japanese planes coming, and we pulled in Hollandia, and the trees in that port were about 8 foot high, and our ship was this tall. It looked like a miniature garden down there. So what we did, what happened to us is we were joining General MacArthur's 4th Army for the liberation of the Philippines. So as we joined and went to the liberation of the Philippines, when we landed, we at Tacloban, then my outfit that I eventually was assigned to, went to a small little village, and we dug our foxholes and continued to go into battle. And that lasted for quite a while. And after that was brought to an end on the island of Leyte, then the sergeant picked a sergeant and then picked me for training of a new vehicle that we just got. It was a track vehicle called a PA-5, and it was like a Sherman tank without the top part of the tank. And so it was operated by a Continental engine, and the guidance was a stick like in an aircraft, and like rudders, and that's how you were able to operate. The reason they trained us, they said, the next operation we may not be able to use trucks and to transport men or ammunition. So we were trained for this particular job for our next operation. And eventually in the next operation, we didn't know where we were going, but we were a fleet headed north. And as we passed Iwo Jima, we were going further north for the invasion of Okinawa. And we ran into a minefield, so the fleet stopped or slowed down, and these big porcupine mines came by. And so as they came by our ship, they had sharpshooters shoot them and blow them up. A huge explosion. And it was very interesting. So as we then went further north, we could eventually see Okinawa outline, and we were pulling in to the area. And there was about 1,200 Navy ships with troops. Now, can we